This may come as a surprise to you, but Colorado's San Luis Valley is one of the most prolific spots for UFO sightings in the country. Paranormal investigators say it's a hotbed for UFO activity. This sparked the interest of a retired cattle rancher about a decade ago. She built a UFO Watch Tower in the tiny town of Hooper just so people can gaze at the stars and talk about their experiences. 9 News storyteller Kevin Torres recently visited the tower and says it's out of this world.
Hooper? It's the big booming town.
Down Highway 17, just past Moffett,
Your eyes never get tired of looking at the mountains, never.
you'll find a tiny town with a big secret.
So have you ever had a UFO experience?
It might seem unusual,
A lot.
but in this part of Colorado, the abnormal is considered normal.
I started this in 2000, mainly because of all the stories from the locals.
Judy Messoline runs the UFO Watch Tower.
We've had 59 sightings from just here. I've gotten to see 26 of them.
It's a place where believers can come to witness something extraordinary.
I still can't tell anybody it's little green men. But you wait, one day they're going to land out here and I'm going to prove it.
A lot of the encounters have been captured
This one was taken at one of our conferences.
by Judy and her visitors.
And they watched this object here go down and get that one, suck it into it, and leave.
Most sightings occur in the valley,
This one here was taken down by Moffett.
but every so often you'll see them in more populated areas.
Ooh, see, they're in Denver too.
Guests spend most of their time up on the Watchtower's deck,
I sit out here daily and say, beam me out of here, Scotty. Take me with you.
hoping to catch a glimpse of whatever may be floating up above.
Since we opened, over 25 psychics have been by, and they've all said the same thing, that there's 2 large vortexes here.
Down below,
So I've told folks to leave something in the garden and get their energy here as well. So we got trinkets from all over the world down in that place.
it's a different story.
And folks will take pictures of what they left.
It's called the UFO Garden. No flowers, just items. Lots and lots of bizarre items.
They are unexplainable, totally unexplainable.
There isn't any other place in the world quite like it.
But they've had documented sightings down here since the 1600s.
In the galaxy, who knows? But here in Hooper, it's considered a life changer.
It has changed my life. And it's for the good, not the bad, for the good.
In the San Luis Valley, this is Kevin Torres, 9 News.
Well, good evening, everyone. Thanks again for tuning in to Topic UFO. What you just saw was a news clip from Channel 9 in Colorado that was done back in May of 2011. And the star of that video, of course, was Judy Messoline. And she is the owner and operator of the UFO Watch Tower. And we are lucky to have her with us tonight, live over the phone. Judy, are you out there, ma'am?
I am here.
How are you tonight, Judy?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing good. Thanks so much for taking time out of your busy day. I'm sure you're got a lot of things going on right now trying to get ready for the big event, huh?
Yes, we do.
So, for people that have never heard of the UFO Watch Tower in Colorado, Judy, you are located in the San Luis Valley. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And from what I understand, this San Luis Valley is considered quite a hot spot for UFO hunters.
Very definitely. Very definitely.
Now, from the background that I know of you, which is not a lot, but you were a retired cattle rancher?
I was kind of forced into retirement.
Okay.
I found out after 4.5 years the cows just don't eat sand real well. So they basically broke me having to feed them year-round.
Wow.
But anyway, from the time I had moved to the valley, all I had heard were UFO stories from the locals. And it was just one after another, and I finally got to the point I was giggling, saying, we need a UFO watchtower, never ever thinking I would ever do it. So after selling the herd, one of the farmers pushed me into doing this. And I'm so grateful to him for the push, because I've had experiences I would have never had otherwise.
Now, were you living in San Luis Valley for some time before you did the UFO Watchtower?
Moved to the valley in 1995.
Oh, okay, okay. And then how long was it after that that you decided to cut the cattle loose and go into the Watchtower business?
Yeah, it was 4.5 years.
Ah, okay. So you started building the Watchtower in 1999, 2000, somewhere in that time frame?
Correct.
Okay. Now, I understand that, like I said, this is a hot spot. How many, if you can count, how many strange sightings have you had personally?
Personally, I've had 26.
20?
The tower has had 70.
Oh my, wow. So people come from all over the country, all over the world. What kind of customers do you have?
We get them from all over the world.
Wow. And
it's amazing, you know, the stories that you hear. I mean, they're so similar, just so similar. So people are seeing basically the same thing, I think,
now,
all over the world.
Yes, I would agree to an extent, yes. Now, this valley has some, you know, beautiful mountains. Is that where the UFOs seem to emanate from, or do they just appear in midair, or what's the usual modus operandi?
They appear, most of them appear just in midair. There are some, you know, there's some hot spots down here where people see a little bit more than others do. Mount Blanca is one of those places. The other is the sand dunes. And
can you describe to us what the average UFO description is?
Mainly the bizarre lights that just don't make sense. And I mean, you'll see these lights going real fast and then just stop. Or you'll be seeing them go one way and then just go the other way. They don't circle around to go the other way. They're going one way and zip, they're going the other way. We can see a light that's changing colors, and if you watch it, all of a sudden it goes down, it goes up, it goes across. I mean, it just stuff that does not make sense.
And
the closest one that we'd seen from here was between the tower and the mountains, and that's about 18 miles. But it was, I called it cigar-shaped. It was narrow and really long. It moved from the north to the south really fast. It was 11 o'clock at night. We had over a dozen people up on the tower. Everybody saw it. So what the heck was it, you know?
Now, this, for people that don't know about this place, you're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. It appears that way anyway. Do you ever get, you know, a little scared being out there with all this activity going on above you?
What's there to be afraid of?
I don't know. I don't know.
I just said, if something was going to happen to anybody, wouldn't it have happened by now?
I would think so. I would think so. You know, I think people have different views on this whole UFO thing. You know, some think they're benevolent, some think they're not. I tend to think if they would have wanted to do something, they probably would have done it by now.
You know what I wish? I wish folks would stop watching the horror flicks.
Yes.
I really do.
Hollywood has not done us any favors, have they, as far as ufology
not at
goes?
All.
I agree. I agree. So let's talk a little bit about this upcoming event. It's your 2013 UFO Conference there at the UFO Watch Tower. coming up here in just a couple of weeks, July 27th and 28th, which is a Saturday and a Sunday. Is this the first one of these you're doing, or have you had several of these, or?
This is about the 11th one.
The 11th one. Well, then you've got it
Yeah.
down. You've got it down.
Yeah, pretty much so. And we have a good lineup of speakers this year, and everybody has a good time at the conference because most of them come and they camp. And then after the folks are finished speaking, then everybody gets together and watches the sky. I can say this, that at every conference there has been a sighting.
Wow.
And I think that's pretty good track record.
I would just love to be able to go. Maybe next year I will plan ahead enough to where I can go. I wanted to just briefly mention some of the people, the speakers that are going to be there. Saturday morning starting at 9 a.m., Joe Fex will be discussing humanoids and the human connection. Joan Bird, who I've been wanting to see for a long time, will be there to talk about the Montana UFOs and extraterrestrials. I think that will be very interesting. Do you know Joan well, or?
I do not, no.
Okay.
I just met her briefly here for in the last few months.
There seems to be a lot of activity out there in Montana, from what I understand.
That's what I've heard.
But then you've got Chuck Zukowski, Claude Swanson, Steve Alexander, who's the founder of and director of the UFO Institute International, speaking about the NORAD event. So it looks like it's just going to be great. And then, like you say, after the speakers have completed and you have dinner, everybody just kind of gets around and has a nice, pull out the lounge chairs and start staring up into the sky, huh?
Yeah.
Now, one thing I have to ask you about, Judy, I was on your website, and you have a book that you wrote called The Crazy Lady Down the Road, I believe is the title. Is that
Yes.
correct?
That's correct.
Now, I mean, I think that's so great that you know, you could write a title like that. Have you received a lot of negative response? I'm sure you've received a lot of positive, but have you received a lot of negative as well?
No.
No.
No, I've been very, very blessed that most has been positive.
Well, you know, it seems to me that, and maybe you can comment to this, Judy, but it seems like just generically, the subject of UFOs and ufology and all this is not what it used to be, you know, ha-ha, funny, funny. People are looking at it, I think, with a little bit more open mindset. Have you noticed that as well, or do you think it's pretty much the same?
No, I've noticed that most folks are open to it. Most folks totally agree that there has to be life someplace out in this massive universe.
Yes.
And it would be kind of arrogant for us to think that we are it, you know. And if we are it, that's a sad state of affairs, I'm going to tell you.
If we're the best the universe could do, yeah.
Oh, it's sad, huh?
I agree. I agree 100% with you.
But even,
go ahead.
Even the skeptics who come to visit, by the time they leave the UFO Watch Tower, I've got them thinking, you know?
That's great.
And I think they're more open to it.
Now, when you decided to build this, and I'm going to pull up a picture of the Watchtower here. When you decided to build this, what'd you do? Just go out and find some people and say, "Hey, I want to build a big watching platform or something," or? You didn't go. You didn't look up in the yellow pages for UFO Watch Tower builders. I know that.
No. Initially, this was just going to be a little old mom and pop business, kind of tourist trappy, you know. I had never seen anything prior to opening it. I never expected to. And then when we started having the sightings, my gosh. But I was just going to have a little old log cabin out there with a wood deck and say it's a UFO Watch Tower and have a gift shop, and that was it. Then we started getting all of this attention on the UFO Watch Tower. So I said, I've got to do better than that. So I started looking for something that kind of resembled a spaceship, which was the dome. And then our neighbor was a welder, and so he and Stan built the tower on 3 sides of the dome. And then we started having sightings. And oh my gosh, everything changed.
Now, do you think the sightings may have, cropped up because they knew you built this tower?
That's what some say. They say that I laid out the red carpet for them, you know.
It's not beyond belief that something like that could happen.
But they've been having sightings down here since the 1600s.
Wow.
So it's nothing that's new. The folks that live in the valley, most everybody has seen something at one time or another. And I get some really good stories from the locals, I'll tell you.
Now, I believe on that news broadcast that I showed at the beginning of the show, I think you mentioned that a couple of psychics had been out to your location at different times, and both said that there was 1 or 2 vortexes within your area. Is that correct?
Yeah, we've had over 25 psychics who have popped in, and they've all said the same thing, that there are 2 large vortexes in front of the tower. And they said that they formed after the facility was built. But again, it's laying out the red carpet for them, you know.
That's amazing.
It's turned out to be a pretty special place there in the gardens.
And also, you have a garden, like you say, excuse me, that people, when they come to visit, will leave little personal trinkets of theirs in this garden. Is that right?
That's correct.
And that's...
And they feel it's good luck to leave something. So we got trinkets from all over the world out there.
Wow. Wow. Now, how do you, people coming from all over the world, I'm sure there are people there that don't speak English or come to visit you who don't speak English. I guess it's kind of an unwritten, what am I thinking of? An unwritten communication when it comes to UFOs. You know why they're there and they know why you're there. So.
They kind of get the gist of things.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
It is.
Any type of unusual white vans or Men in Black type of visits?
I had one car come in one day, and I met him at the entrance, and it was a black sedan. And when I got there, he zipped around and zipped out. All of the windows in the car were blacked out. And I thought, gee, that's strange, you know?
Very.
So I was telling a fellow I know in Denver about it, and he said, Judy, he said, they've got Men in Black all over that valley, and that's who that was. And I said, dang it, I wish I'd have known because I'd have chased him down. You know, don't be rude.
You do not take a passive approach to this hobby, do you?
No.
No. So I guess I want to make sure that we get all the information out on the upcoming conference. Now you are located 22 and a half miles north of Alamosa, Colorado, correct? And people can call you to make reservations, and I take it that's to see the speakers and for camping and all that type of thing, right?
Right.
All right, and I will put the number up here so people can get that. And then you also have a website that I urge people to go take a look at, and that's UFOWatchtower.com. And and one other thing is you're actually going to have a psychic there on the grounds during the conference too, correct?
Yes.
Ah, well, it just sounds like awesome. How many people are you expecting to arrive?
We usually get between 50 and 70. And then on Sunday, we have Priscilla Wolf, she's an Apache medicine woman, as well as a Native American storyteller, and she'll be here, and I want you to know she's good. She'll conduct a Native American prayer circle for everybody.
Oh, that just sounds so interesting. So interesting.
The way she does it is just amazing.
So, your thoughts on ufology? I see one of the speakers here, Claude Swanson. One of your speakers is going to be talking about UFOs and their connection with spirituality and religion. You know, Judy, I've been doing this show now for about a year and a half. I am fairly a newbie when it comes to ufology, so I'm still learning. Every show I learn something, and I quickly noticed that there seems to be these two camps when it comes to ufology. There's the scientific camp and the religious camp. Your personal opinion, do you think there is some type of connection? Because religion and spirituality are completely two different things, but the religious side, what's your thoughts on that and UFOs?
You know, I'm still thinking about it. I guess it's so mind-boggling, okay?
Yep.
When you look at what you were taught as a child up until an adult in the churches. And then when you're put into a position like I'm put into, I mean, when I started seeing these sightings and I'm going, oh my gosh, you know, what's going on here? I get a lot of religious people in, and they ask me if I'm a Christian. Yeah, you know, I mean, I still go along with what I was taught, but I totally believe that the connection between those that are up in the universe and us, I think there's a connection there. I think we're all tied in together somehow. And it says in the Bible that God created the heavens and the earth. Well, he had to have created them as well. You know?
And I am, excuse me, I am definitely not a religious scholar, but does it say in the Bible anywhere that that God made man on earth and that's all he made as far as humans? Or
no, and look at Ezekiel's wheel. I mean, that's talked about in the Bible.
Right.
The book of Enoch, they left it out of the Bible because of the connection with another universe in there, you know? So I think I get upset because how many times has our Bible been rewritten?
Exactly.
And when it was rewritten, how many of those people that rewrote it put in their own ideas and took out what they didn't want in it?
And what agendas did they have at that time?
Yeah.
You're right?
Yeah. And see, I'd never thought about this type of stuff before. And then all of a sudden, I'm put into the position of having this UFO Watch Tower, and let's talk about extraterrestrials and life someplace else. And I'm going, you know, all all of this other stuff really makes sense to me. Things in the Bible, there's some things that just don't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
So someday maybe we'll know. Maybe.
And what do you feel? What's your feelings on disclosure, as far as government disclosure, military disclosure? Do you think that will ever formally take place?
I think it's time.
I agree there. I agree.
And when
there.
you look at all the other countries that are opening up all of their records, what's the matter with the United States? What are they trying to hide?
Yep.
You know?
Yep. You know, if there wasn't anything there, I mean, why are we even asking the question, right?
That's it. You know, and I think maybe they don't want to open up because they're going to show people that all these years they've been lying.
Yep.
And but it needs to be opened. It needs to be made public. And let us see for ourselves, you know. Quit trying to protect us.
Yeah, you know, and I think this argument that, you know, that the population of the nation would go berserk if they knew the truth, I just don't buy that. I really don't.
I don't buy it either. And I think not knowing the truth is what's going to make you go berserk.
Keep them
You know?
dumb. Keep them dumb.
And
Well-
let me. You talked about the website.
Yes.
The military and the government get on my website all the time. Even the House of Representatives checks it out periodically. I'm going, what is this all about? You know, that's our taxpayer dollars that you're spending to go look at my website.
So you were able to look at the analytical data for the people that access your website, and you are seeing domain names coming from our government.
Well, today it was the U.S. Army. They were on and off that site all day long. Now, what are they looking for? You know?
You know,
I don't get it.
the only thing I could think of is, you know, there's only a couple of things that it could be. Number one, there's somebody in the military that's into UFOs, but I don't know why they would have to keep coming back and back and back.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing could be that they're checking you out.
Yeah, see, when we first started the website, I decided I'm going to list all the sightings as they happened, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so we started listing the sightings and the stories and everything. Well, the government was on the website so flippin' much, I finally told my webmaster, I'm not putting any more sightings on there. They want to know what's going on, they can just come ask me, you know?
That is truly amazing, Judy.
I thought it was, too. I thought, what's with you folks? So I quit listing the sightings.
You know, I'm wondering if there was a way you could, you know, actually track it right back to a particular IP address and get right to the person.
Well, we've gone to the website that shows up, okay?
Right.
You know, of where they're looking from. And it says right there on the site, you may not go past this point. If you go past this point, it's like a $5,000 fine or something.
Yes, death and your first male-born child or something, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, and I'm thinking, okay, you can go on to my site and see what I'm up to and what's going on, but we can't go to yours. This isn't fair.
You know, it would not. I actually work in the data communications industry. I have for 35 years. It would not surprise me if they have software crawlers, spiders, that just go out and look at anything on the internet regarding UFOs. It wouldn't surprise me at all, but there's definitely some interest there. So why are they so interested? I don't know. Well, listen, we're just about out of time here, Judy. Is there anything else we can say about the upcoming conference? Again, it's on July 27th and 28th, Saturday and Sunday, at the UFO Watch Tower, 22.5 miles north of Alamosa, Colorado. And if you want reservations,
I'd love to have everybody come.
I wish I could go. I really do. I think next year, if you have one next year, I'm going to go. But you don't have to wait for the conference to go, do you?
No, you can come see me anytime.
Okay, so the Watchtower is pretty much open all the time? Do people have to call in advance? How does that work?
Well, if I'm not busy over at the tower, then I come to the house and get stuff done over here. But we watch for people to come in, and then I'll run over and show them the tower.
Ah, okay.
But the tower itself is open 24 hours a day.
24 hours a day.
So people come at all hours of the day and night and get up there to watch the sky.
Wow. Must be a very interesting life you lead, Judy, I must say.
It is. I don't know what I did before this.
Sounds like just a lot of fun. And how about your book? Is that still available?
Yeah,
Okay.
I still got the book. They're
Okay.
15 a piece. But, and if folks want to order one, they can do it. Just get a hold of me through the website, and I'll get back to you about ordering a book.
All right. And again, the title of that book is The Crazy Lady Down the Road, which is just the most awesome title. All right, Judy. Well, listen, thanks so much again for taking time out of your day.
Sure.
Good luck on the conference. I'm sure it'll be a smash hit. And like I said, for those out there watching this, if you're nearby or can make it there, give Judy a call, put in your reservation, and go have a great time. All right,
Thank you so
Judy.
very, very much.
All right. Well, thank you. And we'll keep in touch.
Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye, Judy.
Bye.
Bye.